Hi, I'm Isaac Rosea from Finance As You Grow. I've helped dozens of first home buyers access government schemes to buy sooner than they thought was possible. Today, I'm explaining the First Home Guarantee Scheme. This is a government program that lets eligible first home buyers purchase a property with as little as 5% deposit, and in some cases, just a 2% deposit without paying lender's mortgage insurance. If you've been told you need to save 20% before you can buy, this scheme could change your timeline completely. Let me break down exactly how it works, who qualifies, and what the property price limits are. The First Home Guarantee Scheme is a government initiative designed to help first home buyers get into the property market sooner. Here's how it works. Normally, if you buy a property with less than a 20% deposit, you have to pay something called lender's mortgage insurance, or LMI. That can cost you anywhere from $10,000 to $40,000 or more, depending on your loan size. But under the First Home Guarantee Scheme, the government guarantees up to 15% of your loan with the lender. That means you can buy with just a 5% deposit, and you don't have to pay LMI. The government is essentially backing part of your loan, so the lender doesn't require you to pay that insurance. This saves you tens of thousands of dollars up front, and it means you can buy sooner without needing to save for years to hit that 20% deposit. Now, there are eligible criteria you need to meet. You must be an Australian citizen or permanent resident. If you're a New Zealand citizen holding a special category visa subclass 444 and you meet all the other scheme requirements, you can also be considered. There are also no income caps and property price limits, which I'll go through in a moment. But first, let me explain the single parent scheme. If you're a single parent, there's a version of the scheme that allows you to buy with just a 2% deposit. Everything else is the same. Same eligibility requirements, same property caps, same benefits. The only difference is you just need at least 2% deposit saved up. This is designed to help single parents get into home ownership faster, recognizing that saving a deposit can be harder when you're raising a kid on a single income. Now, let's talk about property price caps. The scheme has maximum property prices that you can purchase under it, and those limits vary depending on which state you're buying in, and whether you're buying in a capital, regional city, or centre. Let me walk you through this. If you're buying in New South Wales, in Sydney, or a regional centre, the property price cap is $1.5 million. In other areas of New South Wales, it's $800,000. In Victoria, if you're buying in Melbourne or a regional centre, the price cap is $950,000. In other areas, it's $650,000. Queensland, it's $1 million. In Brisbane and regional centres, it's $700,000 in other areas. Western Australia, $850,000 in Perth and regional centres, $600,000 in other areas. South Australia, $900,000 in Adelaide and regional centres, $500,000 in other areas. And Tasmania, $700,000 in Hobart, regional centres, $550,000 in other areas. So, depending on where you're buying, you need to make sure the property you're looking at falls within those price caps. If it's over the cap, you can't use the scheme for that property. Now, here's what a lot of people don't realise. This scheme doesn't just save you money on LMI, it also means you can buy sooner. Instead of waiting 3 to 4 years to save a 20% deposit, you could be buying this year with just 5% or 2% if you're a single parent. That's a huge difference. On a $600,000 property, a 20% deposit is $120,000. A 5% deposit is $30,000. That's $90,000 less you need to save. But here's the important part. Not every lender participates in the First Home Guarantee Scheme, and not every broker knows how to access it properly. That's where working with someone who understands the scheme makes a difference. In our strategy session, we check whether you qualify for the First Home Guarantee Scheme, we calculate exactly how much you can borrow, and we match you with a lender who participates in the scheme. Because if you go to the wrong lender, you might actually be told you don't qualify when you actually do. Here's the key takeaway. If you've been told you need to save 20% before you can buy, that's not necessarily true. The First Home Guarantee Scheme lets you buy with 5% or 2% if you're a single parent, and you don't have to pay LMI. That could mean buying 2 or 3 years sooner than you thought. If this was helpful, save it, share it with someone who's trying to buy their first home. If you want to find out if you qualify for the scheme, drop a comment below or book a free strategy session. We'll walk you through the next steps. I'm Isaac Rosea from Finance As You Grow, and I help first home buyers access these schemes every day. Thanks for watching.